some eggs in there because what's going to happen in a moment is I'm actually going to lift this glass up like this, and all these eggs are going to fall out along the edges right here. I have some onions right here. You see the onions? I'll put some onions in here as well because what we're making here is we're making a giant tower of all the ingredients so that when I lift this thing up, all this is going to ooze out across the whole piece of meat here, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Next is some green onions. Green onions right here go inside of the top of the vase because that's the next thing to get done. Now you will notice I am doing these things in layers, right? So I have the eggs right here. Next we have the onions and the green peppers. Then we have the red peppers right here. See the red peppers?
Yeah.
Right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right there. And what I'm going to do right here, just to get it ready, because I'm going to lift this in slow, I'm going to give it a small little circle with this knife along here. Yep. And what that's going to let me do, if you'll see here, is make sure that things don't spill out prematurely. Now that little egg made it out, that's okay. I'm going to lift this thing up and all this is going to ooze out along the bottom like that. But the next thing first that we do is a little bit of cheese, okay? Now I like, it looks like a lot of cheese, but actually it's not that much because when you think about how big this piece of meat is, it's not really all that big at all. So this should feed a whole family. This is going to be absolutely delicious. Next thing that's happening here is some sweet baby rays.
Sweet baby rays.
This is going to go here on top of the cheese.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Beautiful. And once again, it looks like I'm using a lot, but look at how big this piece of meat is. So when I lift this glass up like this, all is going to dump out. Take a look what we have here. We have the eggs right here at the bottom. Then we have some onions, some green peppers, some red peppers, some cheese, some sweet baby rays. See all that?
Yeah.
And then finally right here, if you can see over here on this board right here, one final ingredient, some orange pepper. Quick little slice of this real quick. Really texture. These are really just for taste, okay? So here go these. And ready? Watch. As the orange pepper goes here on top, getting our final little topping, okay? So here's what's going to happen. Now that we are completely loaded up, I'm going to give a 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to lift this up like this, and all of this is going to come pouring out along this whole piece of beef right here. We have the eggs, we have the onions, we have the green pepper, red pepper, cheese, sweet baby rays, and orange pepper. We are good to go. Last thing I'm going to put here is just a little bit of rosemary right here on top.
Rosemary.
This is going to give it a little bit of spice as it all happens. And I'm even going to take a little bit of this right here, a little bit of basil. See this basil right here?
Okay.
Yep.
What does that basil look like?
Watch this. Now this I'm actually going to give a little bit over the rest of the steak here. I shouldn't call it a steak. Beef, I apologize for that. So a little bit across the whole beef like that. Look at how beautiful that looks. And when this thing cooks, it's going to be absolutely spectacular. All right, so here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen here, I'm going to give a 3, 2, 1, and as I lift this, watch each of these layers flow out of here and across this whole piece of beef. Okay,
So how are you going to lift it again?
so I'm going to lift it straight up like that,
Okay.
and as I lift it, all of that's going to pour out the bottom. It's going to ooze out. It's going to rush across the whole piece of beef right here, starting with the eggs. That'll be the first thing to cook. So as the eggs pour out, it's going to ooze down across the whole thing, really ooze out across the steak and cover all of it right there. Next thing will be our onions. Don't expect too much other than a little bit of sizzle when they hit the grill, right? And then finally we have the green peppers, the red peppers. Once again, not too much action there, but the cheese. As soon as the cheese falls out and rushes down across this piece of beef, you will see it start to cook pretty much instantaneously, followed by the sweet baby rays, which is really going to give us a nice coating across this whole piece of beef on top of the cheese. And then finally our orange peppers. I like to think of these as the show pieces because these will be resting on top of all of it. So each of these layers is going to come pouring out the bottom of this cup. As soon as I lift it up, I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to lift it up, and you see it all just dump out along the edges of this thing like that. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. You ready?
Is it ready now?
It's ready to happen. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm cranking the heat up to high because here we go. Once again, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and as soon as I lift this up like this, all of that's going to come dumping out, and it's going to happen uniformly, okay? So if I rotate this piece of beef like this, watch, okay? Doesn't matter which way I rotate it. No matter which way I rotate it, it's going to cover all of this perfectly, okay? Now there are some different ridges. There are some different kind of textures to this, and that's totally fine because what's going to happen here is no matter which way I lift it, this whole piece of beef is going to be perfectly covered in all of this, okay? Get a pretty static shot here. You see that? So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to lift it right up like that, and all this is going to ooze out across this whole piece of beef. And you know what? Just for good kicks, I'm going to add a little bit more cheese on top because, you know, more cheddar, more better. That's what I always say. You know?
Yeah.
So there we go. A little bit of cheese right there on top, and let's do it, okay? Okay. Now I need a little bit of cheese on top of here. That's fine. Okay? Here we go. Ready? We'll do a little bit more of this rosemary on top just because I'm feeling kind of spicy today. You know? That's what I always joke about. A little bit of that across the rest of the steak, and we're good, okay? Now, it will look like I'm haphazardly kind of just shaking stuff on here, but keep in mind, this piece of beef is so big, you have to be really generous with the dressings on it, okay? That's why the eggs, I've got about 6 eggs in here. I've got a whole bell pepper, a whole green onion, I've got some regular onion, some cheese, a lot of sweet baby rays, and a handsome amount of cheese, as well as, don't forget, the orange pepper right here, which is a little bit left. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss it on top because, hey, why not? Why waste it, right?
Yeah.
In fact, I'll take all the rest of these things. There we go. But I do want to keep it kind of uniform with different layers, because the cool thing about this is that as different layers stack and I lift it, each layer rushes out one at a time. So the first thing to rush out will be the eggs right here. I'm gonna lift it up right now. I'm gonna quit
Yeah,
talking.
lift it.
Let's just do it, okay? But do watch for the eggs. That'll be the first thing to come out of here as I lift it, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. I'm gonna give a small little rotation of the vase right here. Small little rotation, 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 followed by a quick lift, okay? So a twist and a lift. This is a twist followed by the lift, okay? Here's our twist and followed by the lift. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and a lift, yeah? And watch as the eggs rush out, followed by the onions, followed by the red, green pepper, followed by the cheese, sweet baby rays, orange pepper, cheese, garlic, parsley on top. And here we go. Ready?
Yum.
Right? 3, 2, 1. Little twist, twist, twist. Are you ready to see it?
Yeah, I want to see.
Here we go. And you will see it start to ooze out along here. Look at that. You'll see that means I'm breaking the seal right there. That lets us know that it's indeed ready to happen. And as soon as this whole thing is coated, basically we pop it in the oven and it's done. Okay? So, but really what I want you to see is as soon as I lift this, the whole thing is going to get covered in a spectacular fashion that quite honestly you could do if you really spent the time on it. But it's so much more fun to lift this whole thing and see the whole thing get covered in each one of these layers. Boom, it's going to rush out across the whole thing. Let's do it right now, okay?
Let's do it.
So here we go. Twist and lift and twist. Right now. 3, 2, 1. Yes, look at this, look at this. Now right now, it's far enough out, look, I can even almost let go, it would fall, okay? So I'm holding on to it, I'm going to lift it straight up, okay? Here we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Twist, twist, twist. And here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And let's break it loose. Revealing an entire piece of beef covered in toppings, perfectly perfection, absolutely in a matter of seconds. Ready? Here we go. And I'll do it quick because the beef is starting to cook. You can see that if I turn it. Yep. Okay, it's ready to happen. Okay. Here we go. Ready? 1, and this is sloping down towards you. You will see all of this cascade down towards you, almost like a ski slope. Okay. Here we go. Lifting right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Ready? Lift right now. Now being a little bit careful because I don't want to damage the beef as I pull it up. But here we go. It's happening right now. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Beautiful. 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 Woo! Boy, that is starting to heat up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
All
All right. Ready? Yep. 1, 2. You hear that crackling, the sizzling? That's the sound of perfection right there. That's what I always say. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm lifting, lifting, lifting. Watch right here as the eggs start to ooze out. You'll see them ooze right down this whole piece